But in some press interviews, I know that you said that you felt bullied.
I feel like I was bullied a lot in the villa. Like, I really do.
It's like I've seen two different people. You were saying things like, oh, I want you to meet my daughter, etc. I was excited for those moments. But then when we get out, it's like a complete switch.
That hurt, bro.
I'm really sorry.
We was close.
I'm really, like, truly I am.
Speak up for me.
I know she has a couple conversations. I want to address something there too. And like she says, we're 10 toes down.
I had a lapse of judgment.
From cheating allegations to emotional breakdowns, love confessions.
All right, let's be honest here. Love Island USA Season 7 was absolutely unhinged in ways that had us questioning everything we thought we knew about reality television. We witnessed strategic eliminations that felt suspiciously convenient, contestants being removed for problematic behavior that somehow slipped through casting, and villa dynamics so toxic they made previous seasons look like peaceful meditation retreats. But here's what's really keeping us up at night. With Andy Cohen co-hosting alongside Ariana Madix, we're finally getting the accountability session this chaotic cast desperately deserves. And trust me, some of these burning questions are going to expose tea that makes the villa drama look like child's play. So buckle up, because allegedly the answers to these questions might be more shocking than anything that actually happened in Fiji. Before we dive into all this chaos, would you do me a quick favor? If you could hit that subscribe button for us if you've liked what you've seen so far, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Here are the 15 questions that absolutely must be addressed if this reunion wants to serve the piping hot truth we've all been waiting for. 1. Did Taylor really have a secret girlfriend back home? Let's start with the Riri situation, because this tea is still piping hot and, honestly, it needs immediate addressing. Alleged text messages surfaced, showing Taylor telling someone named Riri that he was going on the show for his career, but planned to come back to you when I come back. The alleged text reportedly showed Taylor framing Love Island as a career opportunity, rather than a genuine search for love, which makes his entire villa experience feel like an extended job interview with a cowboy hat. The messages allegedly read, I told them sure, because I don't want to pass this up because it'll only help my modeling and stuff. But don't worry, I plan on coming back to you when I come back. Now, supposedly, this means Olandria and later Clark were unknowingly competing against a pre-existing relationship, which is giving main character energy, but make it deceptive. What's particularly interesting is that Taylor never directly addressed these allegations during the season. The silence was deafening and, frankly, suspicious as sugar. We need receipts, denials, or accountability from the cowboy himself. Because if you're entering a dating show with a whole girlfriend at home, that's not strategic gameplay, that's just fraud with a country accent. 2. How tall is Ace really?
Now, I might be 5'10".
During his argument with Austin, Ace specifically claimed he was 5'10" while defending himself. And honestly, the secondhand embarrassment was real.
One of us out of the two is 6'5" and one of us is 5'10" and has the balls to say some shit around here, because I have some heart.
But Austin has since confirmed that Ace is 5'6" on a good day, which makes this whole situation even more deliciously messy. Even Amaya, the season winner, weighed in, saying Ace appeared to be around 5'8" during her appearance on Call Her Daddy. The fact that he brought up his height as some kind of defense mechanism during conflict suggests this is a sensitive topic that reveals interesting character traits. When you're getting defensive about something that basic and measurable, it makes us wonder what other villa behavior might have been embellished. Like, sir, we can see you standing next to other people. Mathematics doesn't lie, even if you allegedly do. The delusion is almost admirable in its commitment to the fantasy. But we need Andy Cohen to get to the bottom of this with a measuring tape if necessary. Were the votes actually manipulated? This is where things get genuinely concerning, because fan favorites kept getting eliminated despite seemingly having strong public support. The Love Island app conveniently crashed during crucial voting periods, and eliminations like Jeremiah and Hannah felt suspicious to viewers who believed these Islanders had genuine fan support.
I have a genuine question. How is she still on the show when 42% of the people think that Hada would be leaving the villa tonight?
Second is Nick. Third is Jeremiah. By the numbers. Look at the numbers. Peep the numbers. Who do y'all think they chose for third place? By the numbers. Jeremiah, right? Fuck no. They chose Ace. They chose Ace. This shit is so scripted. They're tweaking the results on the show. Ace was not supposed to be chosen. My boy Jeremiah didn't deserve this.
Technical issues that consistently benefit certain storylines raise legitimate questions about the integrity of the voting process. Jeremiah's elimination was particularly suspicious because it happened just as he was developing something authentic with Andrena after the toxic situation with Huda. The timing was extremely convenient for certain people who wanted him gone. Were these crashes truly technical problems, or was something more deliberate happening behind the scenes? We need transparency about what actually happened during these voting periods and whether results were influenced by factors beyond public opinion. Because if major decisions were influenced by anything other than genuine public votes, that undermines the entire format. 4. Why were multiple contestants not properly vetted? Yulisa and Sierra were both removed for racist content that should have been discovered during casting, and this raises serious questions about the vetting process. How did multiple people with documented problematic behavior make it through what should be comprehensive background checks? Sierra described being, quote, pulled for a producer chat, where they told her, point blank, that posts had surfaced that, quote, don't align with our values, and they had, quote, no choice but to remove her from the show. But here's what's baffling. If this content was on their social media, how was it missed initially? This isn't just about individual mistakes. It suggests systemic issues with how contestants are screened. Are background checks actually comprehensive, or are they surface-level reviews that miss obvious red flags? What specific changes are being implemented to prevent this from happening again? Because this level of oversight failure suggests the casting process needs a complete overhaul. 5. What really happened during the heart rate challenge? Andy Cohen has confirmed that Islanders were shown the, quote, extended version of the heart rate challenge during the reunion, which notably caused friction between Huda and Shelly when it originally happened. But what exactly was in that extended footage that we didn't see? The editing showed enough tension to create drama, but apparently there was more content that allegedly explains why certain reactions were so intense. Were there moments that crossed lines we didn't witness? Did someone's performance go beyond what was appropriate for television? 6. Did Huda really use a racial slur in that TikTok? The video Huda allegedly mouthing the N-word while lip-syncing to a song caused major controversy. But she was allowed to stay while others were removed for similar issues. The inconsistency here is absolutely baffling, and honestly feels like production was playing favorites based on storyline value. Some fans argued she clearly tried to skip the word, while others were convinced she said it. But regardless of intent, the fact that her situation was handled differently from Yulisa and Sierra's raises questions about fairness and consistency in production decisions. We need clarity on what actually happened, and why the responses were different, because the double standard is glaring. Are the standards different based on how integral someone is to current storylines? Because if so, that's problematic and suggests certain people get passes while others get immediately removed for similar content. 7. What's the real tea behind Ace and Shelly's pre-villa connection?
I know you.
They admitted to meeting in New York before the show, with Shelly saying this can't be real life when Ace walked into the villa. But the extent of their relationship before filming remains unclear, and this could change the entire narrative of their connection development. If they had significant history before entering the villa, that means other contestants were essentially competing against an established relationship. Their instant chemistry and eventual success suddenly makes a lot more sense if they had a foundation before filming began. Were they just acquaintances, or was there more to their pre-show connection? Because their entire villa journey hits different when you consider they might have been playing with insider information about each other's personalities and preferences. 8. What actually triggered Chris to snap at Huda? That argument came out of nowhere and was genuinely uncomfortable to watch. Chris went from seemingly solid with Huda to completely explosive during a challenge. And the editing didn't give us enough context to understand what really happened. The way he spoke to her seemed way too harsh for what viewers saw, which suggests there might be crucial context missing from the edited version. Were there ongoing issues that weren't shown, or was this truly as sudden as it appeared? Because that level of anger doesn't usually come from nowhere, and we need to understand what really triggered such an intense reaction. Also, let's address the elephant in the room. Chris dumped Huda literally at the finale, which was giving checked out energy. Was he trying to avoid splitting prize money, or was there something deeper going on? 9. Was Ace really running a strategic campaign against Jeremiah? Let's talk about the pattern that viewers noticed. Ace consistently worked to undermine Jeremiah's connections throughout the season, and it was giving chessmaster vibes in the worst possible way.
When as they match and be so locked in and closed off within day one, and to me it's bullshit.
From questioning his relationship with Huda to influencing his elimination right when he found something real with Andrena, it felt calculated and, honestly, a little obsessive. The timeline is suspicious. First, Ace convinced Jeremiah to explore other options when he was happy with Huda. Then, when Jeremiah finally moved on and found something genuine with Andrena, Ace suddenly decided he was a liability who needed to go. The precision of this sabotage is almost impressive if it wasn't so manipulative. Was this genuine concern about authenticity, or was Ace systematically eliminating his biggest competition while hiding behind a facade of moral superiority? The way he justified everything with concern for villa vibes while creating the most toxic energy himself, the irony is not lost on us. 10. How much did social media monitoring affect villa behavior? Contestants seemed aware of their public perception in ways that suggested they were getting information from the outside world. How much did awareness of social media reactions influence their villa decisions? With the season being the most watched installment of Love Island USA so far, the pressure and awareness of public opinion was probably more intense than ever. If people were adjusting their behavior based on public opinion rather than genuine feelings, that affects the authenticity of everything we saw. Were certain contestants getting hints about their popularity or lack thereof? Because some decisions felt like they were made with knowledge of fan reactions rather than villa dynamics alone. 11. What's the truth about Casa Amor's forced drama? Fans heavily criticized Casa Amor for feeling manufactured and inauthentic this season, with allegations that producers were pushing certain recouplings for maximum drama. How much of Casa Amor was genuine exploration versus orchestrated chaos designed to break up fan-favorite couples? The timing of certain bombshells entering seemed suspiciously convenient, and some connections felt forced rather than organic. Were Islanders encouraged to explore options they weren't actually interested in? Because if the biggest twist of the season was manipulated rather than authentic, that's problematic for the entire format. Clark's entrance and immediate connection with Taylor, for instance. Was that genuine attraction, or was there behind-the-scenes encouragement to shake things up?
There's no way, bro. There's no way. Yo.
The way certain Casa Amor connections developed felt too perfectly timed to be coincidental.
How did Austin handle the racism allegations after leaving the villa? After Austin left the villa, he faced racism allegations from fans and responded during an Instagram Q&A. When asked if he was a racist bigot, Austin called the question crazy and said, "Are you f***ing dumb? Like, honestly, are you dumb? Do you not think?" He then pointed to his tattoo, saying, "I have a black woman tatted on my side. Use your head." The allegations seemed to stem from his social media activity, including pro-Trump TikTok reposts and content that some found objectionable. Austin later issued a more formal apology, saying he had a very dry sense of humor and genuinely didn't think before sharing that content. But here's what we need to know. How does Austin feel about his response now that he's had time to reflect? Because using "I have a black woman tattooed on me" as a defense against racism allegations is giving major "I can't be racist, I have black friends" energy. Does he understand why that response was problematic and what accountability looks like moving forward? 13. Why did fan-favorite couples keep getting broken up? There seemed to be a pattern of popular couples facing elimination or separation right when they were gaining momentum with viewers. Hannah's elimination felt particularly cruel because she had just found a genuine connection with Pepe after having her heart broken by Charlie's exit. The girls' decision to vote her out over Amaya or Iris, who had weaker connections, seemed strategic rather than based on relationship strength. Was this pure game strategy, or were there interpersonal issues with Hannah that viewers didn't see? Jeremiah and Andrena's situation follows a similar pattern. Right when they found something real, he was eliminated. The timing felt too convenient to be random, so we need to know if certain Islanders were coordinating to remove threats or if there were other factors at play. 14. How did mental health support actually work this season? With all the online backlash, controversial exits, and villa drama, how did production support contestants through these difficult situations? What resources were actually available? And how effective were they in helping Islanders cope with the intense pressure? Reality TV has a responsibility for contestant well-being that extends beyond filming, especially when people are dealing with public criticism or discovering problematic behavior from fellow contestants. Were there therapists available? How were Islanders prepared for the social media storm they'd face after controversial moments? The fact that this season had more drama and controversy than previous seasons means the mental health support needed to be even more robust. Did the support systems keep up with the increased intensity of the season? 15. What conversations happened off camera that would change everything? Reality TV editing means we only see a fraction of what actually happens, and sometimes the most important moments never make it to air.
What crucial conversations, arguments, or connections happened off-camera that would completely change how viewers understand the villa dynamics? With about 30 editors and 20 producers working to create storylines, and producers admitting we don't always get it right when deciding what's important, there's clearly massive amounts of content we never saw. Were there moments that would explain seemingly sudden relationship shifts, conversations that would justify eliminations that felt random, strategic discussions that would reveal the true masterminds behind villa politics? Because sometimes one off-camera conversation can recontextualize an entire season. This isn't just about satisfying curiosity. These questions address fundamental issues about authenticity, manipulation, and accountability in reality television that extend far beyond villa drama. When contestants potentially enter shows with existing relationships, eliminations might be influenced by producer decisions rather than public votes. And problematic behavior consistently makes it through casting. We're dealing with systemic problems that need serious addressing. The fact that this season was described as a good season of reality TV, but a horrible season of Love Island itself, suggests the show might be at a turning point. Either they address these issues head-on and implement real changes, or they risk losing credibility with viewers who are increasingly aware of reality TV production tactics. Andy Cohen has already teased that Love Island reunions are no joke and everybody's here, so we know he's not playing around. With his proven track record of extracting uncomfortable truths that contestants would rather avoid, we might actually get the transparency and accountability that both viewers and contestants deserve. No more vague explanations about personal reasons or carefully crafted PR responses. Because allegedly, some of these answers are going to be more shocking than anything that happened in the villa. And honestly, it's about time this chaotic season got the thorough investigation it deserves. The reunion airs Monday, August 25th on Peacock, and the tea will be served scalding hot. Some people might not be ready for how intense this accountability session is about to get. What questions are you most desperate to get answered? Drop your burning villa mysteries in the comments, because with Andy Cohen asking the questions, no stone will be left unturned in the quest for villa truth.